Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. It is the Halloween season, and I have been sitting on this one for nearly a year, saving it for a first-time reaction. I loved the music from Disney's The Princess and the Frog. I think the jazz influence is total perfection. And when I heard that VoicePlay had done a cover of it, I got so excited. Plus, they brought back Jay to sing the lead character, which I think is going to be totally epic. So let's get to it.
Sire, this man is obviously a charlatan. I suggest we move on to it.
Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you derogate or deride. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side. That's an echo, gentlemen. Just a little something we have here in Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down at my table. Put your mind at ease. If you relax, it will enable me to do anything I please. I can read you.
Oh my goodness. There's so much that's happening immediately that I totally love. I have to shout out, the set is really cool. I'm liking a lot of the camera angles too. I think this was done at Patty Cake Studios, which I know Lane does a lot of work with Patty Cake too. So makes sense that they bring that over a lot of times also for filming and for VoicePlay. But I love the way that they set it up immediately with the different characters. And it's cool. You have Jay, who's playing DrFacilier. By the way, Facilier means to facilitate in French. And so I think it's really interesting because DrFacilier is like a voodoo doctor, and he essentially facilitates the transformation of the prince to the frog. So it's a really cool name. But anyhow, I love that you've got Ellie's playing Lawrence, and I think you have Caesar who's playing Naveen, the prince. And then it looked like we had Lane and Jeff maybe coming in as spirits. I'm going to get back to the beginning because there's also lots of ear candy that I want to talk about.
Sire, this man is obviously a charlatan. I suggest we move on to it.
Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you derogate or deride. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side.
Okay. Want to talk about the choice of different sounds in the backing vocals. First, just to start off with, this ooh is a creepy sound, right? We think about ghosts and like ooh. And it's really interesting because that vowel in general is considered an extremely dark vowel. So we associate it often with like dark happenings, like maybe some voodoo. And then sometimes you'll have duh in front of that, do, 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 do. That's an articulation point. It helps make things a little bit cleaner. Really, really cool. And then at one point we had mms as well. And is also a very dark sound, right? It definitely has a little more time to marinate in there. So all of those sounds in the backing vocals are kind of haunting and spooky to begin with. Really cool choices. Okay, one more time for the beginning.
Sire, this man is
I
obviously
love Ellie's
a
voice
charlatan.
here.
I suggest we move on to it.
Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you derogate or deride. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side.
Really good. I love that.
That's an echo.
That's so cool. It sounds like they put their voices maybe through a filter to make that sort of voices in the masks feeling. I've always thought that moment in the movie felt a little bit like a creepy tiki room in Disneyland, by the way.
Out of your world. And I got friends on the other side. That's an echo, gentlemen. Just a little something we have here in Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down at my table. Put your mind at ease. If you relax, it will enable me to do anything I please. I can read your future. I can change your around some too. I look deep into your heart and soul. You do have a soul, don't you, Lawrence? Make your wildest dreams come true.
I just love the way that Jeff is wrapping up these bottom lines, this bass rap at the end is really amazing. Jay's characterizations are just so on the money. Like, it's DrFacilier is sly, he's scheming, and but also really enticing and fun. He's like an evil genie, I think. And it has that same kind of jazz background, right, as some of the genies in Aladdin songs have. So I just love him as a villain. I think it's a fascinating take. He's pretty much his power is unlimited, I would say, with his friends from the other side. Anyhow, Jay is doing an amazing job. I love his enunciation, the way he's able to get out so many lyrics and give so much color and story with them as well. Plus, he just has a really lovely balanced tone in his sound. Oh man, there was a solo line in here that like totally killed. It was, I always think he has a voice of a rock star. It's like got like really fun drive behind it. And there are also just so many fun moments. Okay, I'm gonna go back again.
Gentlemen, just a little something we have here in Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down.
I love that fill that Lane just did.
Just a little something we have here in Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down at my table.
I want to listen to that one more. It's simple, but there's something so organic and fun about Lane's beatboxing. I love it.
We have here in Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down at my table.
Last thing. I wonder how he got that thing in his nose. Like the bones coming out. Like, that looks really uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to ask him what that felt like. I wonder if it made the resonance funny. Anytime a person gets stopped up, their resonance changes, and so that throws off a lot of performers because they'll feel that their feedback system for how their voice sounds inside shifts, and he's got a bone through his nose.
Louisiana, a little poetry. Don't worry. Sit down at my table. Put your mind at ease. If you relax, it will enable me to do anything I please. I can read your future. I can change around some too. I look deep into your heart and soul. You do have a soul, don't you, Lawrence? Make your wildest dreams come true. I got food.
This is awesome how Lane changes the groove up in here. Right, we've just got like this very nice swung beat underneath, and then it suddenly it's a lot more space and goes more straight.
I can read your future. I can change around some too. I look deep into your heart and soul. You do have a soul, don't you, Lawrence? Make your wildest dreams come true. I got voodoo.
I just love that Jeff has such a lower extension available that rather than just landing on the bottom note, he's like, oh, I'm going to slide lower off of it. Listen to that.
Voodoo, I got things I make your wildest dreams come true. I got voodoo, I got things I ain't even tried.
Whoa.
And I got friends on the other side.
Oh, beautiful. That was such a nice light, and I had like a nice innocence to the tone that Caesar just executed. It makes sense to cast him as Prince Naveen.
I got friends on the other side.
When I liked his and Jay's voices together.
And I got friends on the other side. Yeah, I got friends on the other side. Come on.
Nice.
The cards will tell. The past, the present, and the future as well. The cards, just take 3. Take a little trip into your future with me. Now you.
I love all of the shifting and the tempo and the groove. This was an arrangement, I think, done by Lane, and you can really tell in the way that it's so detailed in how he's shifting the various beatboxing grooves underneath. I think that's very, very cool. I'd heard from Lane as well that Jeff was originally going to sing the lead in this, and then they found out that Jay was available, and so they decided to feature him in it. I think it's so cool the way that you have Jeff coming in this like that the friends from the other side saying, "Bring the cards out, right? Let us work our magic." He does such a good job of being fun and creepy at the same time.
Just take the past, the present, and the future as well.
Nice single eyebrow, Ellie.
Just take 3.
Take a little trip into your future with me.
Ah! Good girl.
Now, you young men are from across the sea. You come from 2 long lines of royalty. Your lifestyle's high, but your funds are low. You got a married little honey whose daddy got dough. Mom and dad cut you off, huh, playboy?
Sad but true.
Now you gotta get hitched, but hitching ties you down. You just wanna be free, hopping place to place. But freedom takes queen.
I love the way that they made this section feel even more urban. It's a really cool take on it. It still feels like very New Orleans in the original, and this part has got some more R&B groove to it. I think it's a really fun take that's happening in the groove. But it's really happening in Jay's delivery a ton. That's
Come from 2
interesting.
long lines of royalty.
It's like a little Hamilton in here.
Take a little trip into your future with me.
Now, you young men are from across the sea. You come from 2 long lines of royalty. Your lifestyle's high, but your funds are low. You got a married little honey whose daddy got dough. Mom and dad cut you off, huh, playboy?
Sad but true.
Now you gotta get hitched, but hitching ties you down. You just wanna be free, hopping place to place. But freedom takes queen. It's the green, it's the green, it's the green you need. When I look into the future, it's the green that I see. On you, little man don't wanna waste much time.
I love the expression in Jay's voice. I mean, he's such an expressive person and singer, actor. It's really cool to see him doing this. This role was originally done by Keith David, and he's performed in a ton of different things as well. He did the president in Rick and Morty. He did a voice in Archer as well. He's done a few different video games. There's also the voice of Solivar in The Flash. He's just done a ton of things. Really great expression and a frequent person that you see cast, especially for voice, but also just acting. And seeing Jay tackle this so well, that makes me really wonder in Jay's future, will there be a lot more voice acting too? I feel that he's got so much potential in various directions. His would be a really fun voice to narrate things as well. That's cool. Okay, back a little bit.
It's the green, it's the green, it's the green you need. When I look into the future, it's the green that I see. On you, little man don't wanna waste much time. You've been pushed around all your life. You've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother. And if you was married, you'd be pushed around by your wife. But in your future, the you I see is...
Oh, that was such a smart design to let Caesar's character laugh without any sort of backings behind him. That was some good musical humor right there. I've been really appreciating the backings, especially listening to how that beatboxing is produced. It's interesting how it has a more subtle feel right now to it. I think that's in creating the sounds, but it's also maybe in the production aspect of it and how he EQ'd those. It's really, really cool.
All your life, you've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother. And if you was married, you'd be pushed around by your wife. But in your future, the you I see is exactly the man you always wanted to be.
Okay, check this out. In the vocals, you've got dums at times, dum 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 dum, like DM. That's very good for staying underneath a lead line, but still has, again, some articulation. Feels almost like little plucks of a harp. You have oohs. Again, those will stay a little bit further back, kind of more spooky a lot of times, but also just more inner. And ahs are brighter, and they often will depict something growing or just something that's a little happier. Notice that when he switches to the happy future moment, that's when we switch to the ah backing vocals.
Much time, you've been pushed around all your life. You've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother. And if you was married, you'd be pushed around by your wife. But in your future, the you
There you go.
I see
Ah's
is exactly
future.
the man you always wanted to be. Shake my hand. Come on, boys. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
Yeah. So I immediately, when he was doing this shake my hand, I noticed that we had cut away all of the bottom vocals. Listen, it just like it suspends high, which to me tells me if somebody's got some fun production and arrangement chops that we're gonna have a drop just afterwards. I was waiting for it and it delivered.
Shake my hand. Come on, boys.
Right? Suspending
Won't you
very
shake
high.
a poor sinner's hand?
I love that.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Transformation Central. Reformation Central. Transmogrification Central. Can you feel that? Yeah. You're changing.
It's really amazing grooves in this piece. This is one of the things that's sticking out to me the most is the way that we have so many sort of different chapters in the movie too. And I feel that in the arranging of this, we've gotten very, very clear chapters, partly defined by those grooves. So this really, once we had this drop down and we got a lot of lower kicks essentially helping establish that, filling out that lower end that had been disappearing for a while. It felt like we just got into the meat of it and it got kind of spookier. Down. Ooh. There's an interesting rattle on that lower bit. I'm wondering, is that something that Lane was making with his mouth, or was that an effect put on afterwards? Like, it's like got some distortion, almost like a really scary moment from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I like the way that the beatboxing also sounds like a record making little skips at this point. That's fine.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Transformation Central. Reformation Central. Transmogrification Central. Can you feel that? Yeah. You're changing, alright. I hope you're satisfied.
Look at that beautiful eye. But his mouth shape is so gorgeous on this.
I hope you're satisfied.
It's beautiful.
Don't blame me. You can blame my friends on the other side. You got what you wanted.
I love that choice
My
to go up there.
friends on the other side.
Really good choice with his voice in particular. I feel like that features some beautiful tone in the upper end too.
You can blame my friends on the other side. I got friends on the other side.
Amazing. I love that they had that fade of the mask at the end. It was just like the original where just the mask was showing. This was incredible direction, beautiful, beautiful singing, of course, from everybody. I like the way it had features of each person in it. The groove shift was especially crazy impressive. Awesome, awesome arrangement. I just love that VoicePlay tackled a very challenging song and had so much fun with it. If you want to see some more analysis of VoicePlay, you can check that out in this playlist over here. They are such an awesome group of people, so I really highly encourage you to check them out on their channel as well. They also have a really cool Patreon. And May you fall more in love with music every day.